Hello, we are live. What's up, everybody? If you're watching live right now, which you're probably not, or on the VOD or the YouTube, thanks for tuning in. We got some stuff for you guys today. So last week we did a stream where me, Dan, and John did like a winter wrap up. So we talked a lot about like some of the shows that we were watching. We shit on My Hero. I made a TikTok about that one. And it was pretty good. I feel like it was 2 hours long. You guys know we were talking for 2 hours doing the winter
Oh,
wrap
Yeah, we're a
up.
I
bunch
wish
of
I
weebs,
was. I wish
dude.
I was there for that. I'm always
I
down
was
to
reminded.
shit on my hero.
Well, we talked about
I
My
was
Hero
reminded.
like we talked about like why it's kind of dying in popularity. I don't know if you knew that, Joe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. We could spend another 3 hours on that, but
Yeah. We talked about that. We talked about some other stuff. So before we get into it, I just like talking and chilling. What are you guys watching right now? Anything?
Like this season, or
Yeah, like anything this season or right now. That first Hell's Paradise was pretty decent.
bro. Speaking of that, dude, like how is Mappa so good at openings, dude? Between
They
that and
are.
Vinland Saga, the
Yeah.
openings are crazy.
The
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
new Vinland Saga opening for like the second core is the same band that did the first ever opening. Survive Said Prophet or whatever their band name is a banger.
What's this show? This Rising one?
It's called Hell's Paradise.
Oh, Hell's Paradise.
It's a
Okay.
new show by Mappa.
Hmm.
There's a lot of hype around it.
Okay.
It's really good, and I did that thing where I couldn't wait,
No, you
and
didn't already?
John, John,
Yeah.
this already I this started aired reading the Sunday. manga, and
Yeah.
This aired Sunday. it's really good,
Jeez,
bro.
bruh.
it's re- it's really good. John, you're out of your mind.
Got
What
you,
can I
Yeah.
John.
say? Or no, not yet. It just draws me in. What happened? Are you done with it or no? Oh no. I
Okay.
I
My
I,
bad.
I, I paced myself, but I'm already like in close to 40 chapters in.
Sheesh.
You're a
Dang.
sicko.
Damn, bro.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
think the last like manga I read was Sakamoto Days. Have you read that, John?
No, I haven't. I have
Bro,
it on my list
that
to
is a
read.
great manga. It's getting turned into anime too. But
Awesome.
what else? I finished Bungo Stray Dogs season 4. Um, I'm watching Tokyo Revengers right now, second
Hmm.
season.
Yeah, I've been watching that too.
Bro, that guy
It's
I have
almost
not
over though,
touched
right?
it.
It's
Yes,
almost over. Yeah.
I think the second season is over already.
Yeah.
I'm in the
Yeah,
I
middle of the
can.
they
second
just
season.
announced the next one after.
I'll be
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
honest.
only.
The second season, I think the animation dropped a little bit. Like
Yeah.
the animation, like the budget maybe got cut a little bit. Like it wasn't as good, and I feel like not a lot of people were talking about it because it's not on
Yeah.
anything. Like I'm watching it on like some free website.
Yeah, I'm watching it on Hulu. Luckily, I
Oh,
had
Hulu, yeah, yeah.
access already to it, but it's weird. I was like, it's an anime and it's only on Hulu and
They've been
some
doing that
other
a
thing.
lot recently.
Yeah,
Just like
they're
animes on just like
random
strictly
things.
Disney Plus or strictly
Yeah.
Hulu. It's kind of annoying.
Well,
Yeah,
literally
there's this.
nobody knew about Tokyo Revengers season 2 in the beginning. Like
Yeah,
that was a thing. There
Yeah, I
was
didn't
no
even know it was
marketing
airing
us.
until it showed on Mal.
Yeah.
yeah,
But that guy Taiju, he's a problem.
dude.
The thing is, this whole season is about like a domestic abuse case. It's like fine, it's a real issue that should be addressed, but I'm
Yeah,
trying to see some fights, some gang war, some you know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like,
Oh wait, speaking
um,
of domestic abuse, have you started watching My Home
don't say
Hero?
domestic girlfriend. No, I haven't, not yet. Is the first
I was
episode
gonna
out?
say, yeah, the first episode's out, and that one I'm gonna keep my eyes on this season too,
Yeah, I'm
for
waiting for the
sure.
build.
Nice, yeah. I need to
Yeah, like Dan
definitely.
said, you wanna talk about domestic abuse? This one right off the bat, bro.
Nah, yeah. But I know what it's about because I was watching listening to a podcast like the boyfriend like abuses the daughter, right, of the main guy or
Mhm.
something.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't. I feel like there's not a lot of anime like that that are like
It's
super serious. You know,
yeah.
Like all
It's
the slice
different.
of life stuff is usually pretty like it doesn't get
Easy
that
going.
serious. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy going. Life's perfect.
The last
Dramas.
one I watched that was like kind of super shocking was that I think a lot of us watched it was that but like it wasn't that popular was that Higehiro one with like the guy who takes in the high school runaway who's like
Oh,
you remember that one, Dan?
Oh,
And like like the mother turns out to be like this like super abusive like parent at the end and like it was like
What show is this?
I was like uncomfortable watching it like
Wait, what show is this?
it's called Higehiro I
I
think
took
is the
home a
Japanese
high
name.
school girl, some shit like
Yeah,
that.
he's like the English name is just criminal. It's like I took in a high school runaway or something like that.
What
yeah,
the
that's
hell?
exactly what it is. That's the English translation. Or
Oh no, this is what it is. I shaved, then I brought a high school girl home.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What's the shaved part about?
I
I
think he
don't
was
know.
changing his life around, and then
Yeah.
he was like, "Oh, let me help out this girl," and then turns out she's in high school and all that other good jazz.
Yeah, the show's pretty wholesome for the most part, and then the end it gets like super serious, like out of nowhere.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is like
I'll
probably a light novel show, right? Hikaru,
yeah.
after being rejected, I shaved and took in a high school runaway.
How did the so I'll be honest, since I started getting away from anime, I haven't even finished like I'm on the last two episodes of like all the winter shows. Did like anything like end really good that I missed? Because I haven't finished Blue Lock. I have like
Blue
one or
Lock's
two
really good.
episodes of Blue Lock. I didn't finish My Hero. I didn't finish like anything.
You don't have to finish My Hero.
No, My Hero,
Dude,
you
I
should.
heard, but I heard people on Twitter being like, with the last episode, I kind of saw what happened a little bit, and like people were saying something with Deku and like him crying and stuff.
Well,
But
My Hero, not any spoilers, but the last scene, they show a hero that I think is gonna be very important to the story. It's a
the
new
issue with
hero. You guys
I
know
don't
what I'm
want to
talking
bring up
about? But
nah.
anyways,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that my problem with season 5. Well, I'm not gonna get into it, but yeah,
Dude,
I don't think
let's
it
not get
stuck the
into it. But
landing. But
my issue with My Hero, and I've been saying this since season two, is I hate Deku. I hate him as a protagonist. I don't
Yeah,
like relate to him at all. I love All Might, and when All Might lost his abilities, I'm not interested in the show anymore. Like
yeah,
I loved
that's
All Might. All Might was the best. His mentorship with Deku was cool, but like I don't like Deku. He's just annoying. Like he's like he doesn't like face any like he faces hardship, but I don't like relate to him at all as like a main character. Like he's too I don't know.
That's what I think too. Like the early seasons of My Hero were such
It's
bangers,
so
bro.
good.
When All Might was fighting Nomu,
Yeah,
he
the
was
whole
fighting One
stain, the
for
whole hero
All,
stain stuff, like that
Stain
was
shit.
cool.
Yeah, the muscular one. Uh, and then it's just like even the overhaul one was good, but then it just
Yeah,
became
yeah.
like uh, I don't know. It's just like
When
the
they had
fights
that
are
one villain,
empty.
ever since that one villain, the who was the one with the little lolly
Oh,
girl?
Brava.
Oh, Brava.
Oh my
Brava.
god,
Criminal
that's
gentle,
when
whatever
shit
his
went.
gentle criminal.
Get the joke. That's when I was gone.
Yeah, that felt like a filler for some reason. Like that could have just been
Yeah,
a movie or something, you know?
yeah.
I mean, it
Bro, I
could
can
have
only
been
imagine being
filler,
pissed in the theater if that was a movie.
but not to. I mean, I don't know if you consider it a spoiler, but you do see him again,
Hmm.
senior criminal.
Maybe because they
He
got let out of that thing,
Prison.
the
right?
prison, yeah, yeah, the
Yeah.
prison. So you
Yeah.
will see him again eventually.
But also, this is like kind of a hot it's a hot take. I feel like just letting the prisoners out of the jail is just like a plot device, like a cheap like plot device.
Yeah.
Kind of like in Naruto Shippuden where he just like bought everybody back at the end. It's like
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just
that's
kind of want
that
to
that's
get
what
the
killed it for
fans
me.
to be like, "Yo, let's go." Which
Yeah.
it is hype, but I mean like it's not an interesting plot device is what I'm trying to say. Also,
Yeah.
John, your camera looks kind of blurry. I don't know.
Oh,
All right,
there
it's
we
good.
go. I
It's
don't know.
good. All right, so do we want to get into this recommendations?
Yes.
All right, let's
What are we
get
starting
into
with?
it. So first, I think we should do John, right? And then just go around and then everybody give John a recommendation. So I guess I can go first. I'll go first actually. So there's a highly there's a high chance that you've probably seen this, but Megalobox. Have you seen it?
I have.
All right.
I have seen it. I have
I was
Megalobox.
seen
thinking
it.
the same thing for
Megalobox.
John. I was thinking the same thing for John. I was like, he has to have seen this.
Yeah.
And Megalobox too.
Yeah. So Megalobox. So I remember last time we were talking, you said you liked Hajime no Ippo, right? That was like one of
Yeah.
your first things.
Oh
So
yeah.
Megalobox is about boxing too, but it's more like it's like Vinland Saga with like boxing. It's like more about character development. The action is good. It's not like shonen anime like great like power up like dumb ring roll or whatever the hell that was in Hajime no Ippo. It's not like that, but it's pretty good. And yeah, I think you'll like it. It's like a lot about just like growing and becoming better. Like the main character's kind of like from a broken down, like kind of like pretty much the hood, and then he like fights his way up, and he like takes on these like elites, and the music is a banger too. So
Oh yeah.
I
I
gave it
agree.
an 8 out of 10. Wait, have you seen it?
Megalobox?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Oh,
said that,
bro,
He
I
dude.
recently
thought
saw
I
like
thought you
20
said
Then
you
we just
didn't
minutes.
see
explained it.
it.
No,
That's
what are you
Oh, I thought you
kidding?
said
It's all
you.
good.
I thought
I
you
Really,
thought you
said
were
really
you
just
cool.
still
didn't
gone
see
with
it.
it.
Oh, I thought you said you didn't see it. All right,
No, no, my bad. Miscommunicator.
all right, all right. Well, then I got another one. I got another one. So let's see here. I wrote them all down. Okay. Assassination Classroom. Have you seen that? Don't smile at me, bro.
Yeah, I have. I have.
Fuck. Okay. Okay,
I had
okay.
people too for that one as
Let's
well.
see. Let's see. What else do I got here? What else do I got? Anybody else want to go while I'm looking?
Well, I cleared mine. I don't know if you want to go through yours, Joe.
Yeah, sure. So I had a few. I was looking bottom of the barrel for John because I assumed he saw most things. This one I think you may have seen, but I know Azaz and Dan have seen it. Have you seen Link Click, which is like that Chinese anime?
No, I
That
haven't.
Let's
that
go.
was
Let's go.
I
Let's
that one
haven't.
go.
was
Wow,
really
first hit.
really good, really good. You
Link.
guys liked it, right? Like
Click.
I
Azaz and Dan?
loved it.
That shit was
Yeah.
a banger, dude.
Loved it.
Yeah, like it was like I don't even know how to explain it, but it was like good action. The animation was good, and it's like a they're actually speak like it's a Chinese anime, which I'd never seen before, which was it was really cool.
Yeah, and
Yeah, Chinese animes are stepping their game up. I've seen quite a few of those as well.
the
Yeah.
second season for that actually coming out this year. I don't know if you heard.
Oh, is it?
Oh, cool.
Last season the ending was mad good.
Yeah, it was almost a little controversial. I don't want to say anything because Jonathan's seen it, but it was a little bit controversial. I feel like because some people like it totally. I don't know, changed the show a little. Like I didn't see that ending coming at all.
Yeah, neither did I. But I
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
some people
agree.
Ooh,
It
I'm
didn't.
kind of changed
interested.
our understanding of what the hell's going on, but in an interesting way. Like it opened up the world more. I feel like, which
Yeah.
is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, John, guaranteed you'll like it after one episode. It's definitely
Yeah.
a one episode, and you'll know if
Super
you like
good.
it or not.
And hooked. Okay,
Yeah.
put that. Already wrote it down.
All right, John, I got one for you. Saga of Tanya the Evil. I went bottom of the barrel.
Wait. Didn't
Mm,
Sean recommend this to you?
Have you seen it? Have you seen it? Yeah,
no, it
Sean
doesn't ring a
recommended.
bell.
Oh, okay.
So
Sanya. What is it called? Sanya the what?
it's called Saga of Tanya the Evil.
You went to the bottom of the list for that
I
one.
gave this one a 7 out of 10, which I think is like good. It's not great.
No, I haven't seen this one. No.
But what it's about is this girl, uh, it's a isekai. So this girl, uh, she gets hit by a train, I think, or something, and she gets teleported into the past. And this past that she gets teleported into is like a major war going on between nations. Think like World War II kind of vibes. So this girl is hell bent, and her personality is like very like strong. So she's like comes off as kind of rude, but she's really smart. So what she decides to do is climb the army ladder as a general. Okay, And the
Okay.
show is about that, and there's a lot of fighting, and she has like a weapon that she can use. She's like kind of half like mechanical, I guess. So she has like cannons and shit, and it's pretty decent. Mal, it's a 8 on Mal. I gave it a 7. But I like tried to find shows that that you probably wouldn't have seen. So I would recommend it. It's good action. The character is good. I don't think you guys have seen it either, right? Dan and Joe.
No.
No.
It's decent. I think it's worth a shot. It's only 12 episodes.
All right. I'll already have that written down. Thank you.
And
Give
it's
it a
hard to.
good
I
look.
feel like it's hard to find like a good isekai. So
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
so
even if
Yeah,
saturated.
it's
talked about
even
that
if
one.
it's decent, it's probably good. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's like
I'm a big isekai guy.
it's
Yeah.
But
military isekai. Um, but yeah.
I hate when isekais are done just to be like cheesy, like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm in another world, and then like they're just all aloof and things
Oh,
happen for
oh,
no
oh,
reason.
oh, okay. Sorry. I kind of read the description of the show. So the guy's actually a man, right? Before he gets isekai'd into a little girl, he's a guy. And
There it is. There it is.
Okay,
so
okay.
she's actually a guy in real life. And what happens is the guy who works in who's slaved his ass off in the corporate world, he gets pushed onto the train and he's basically dying. And right before he dies, he has like he like blames God, right? He's like, "Why the hell did you do this to me? I've been a good worker and shit." So the God is like, "All right, bro, I'll give you another chance." So he reincarnates that guy as a girl in this like universe, and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna bust my ass instead of like a corporate entity. I'm just gonna work in this military entity."
Mm.
So yeah, that's the only detail I missed there. Check it out if you're
All right,
about it.
we'll
If you're
do.
about it. All right, Dan, you gotta give our boy John one.
Okay, John. I know I cleared this with you. You've never seen Akudama Drive, right?
Yeah, I've never seen that one.
So
What's that
this
one
went
about?
kind of under the radar. This was around like 2020 that this came out. It was only on Funimation,
Mhm.
but it's basically a heist anime.
Ooh.
So it's a bunch of criminals. They have a big bounty. They basically have to rob this train
Mm.
that kind of services Neo Tokyo.
Hmm.
I can't really give much more other than that
Yeah.
to spoil the story, but
Okay,
it's a lot of fun. The characters are really unique, and then the setting's really cool.
Okay.
awesome.
Love how the theme is just adult. I'm looking it up on Mal.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. Akudama Drive. Speaking of heist shows, that kind of reminds me of like Great Pretender, but I'm pretty sure this is gonna be more like
Serious.
serious and darker undertones. You know, like you know how like shonen is like young boy, right? In
Hmm.
Japanese. So like One Piece, Naruto are considered shonen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's another term, it's called I think called senin,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
young man. So that is like more gory, like
Adult.
Attack on Titan, Tokyo Ghoul, those kind of
Yeah.
shows. That's the classification uh for them. That's pretty
Mm.
interesting. I just found that out recently, so
Is Chainsaw Man a shonen or is it?
I would say
Because I mean
that's
that's the.
senin.
It's like a dark, yeah, like a dark
Yeah,
shonen, I
I
guess.
feel like
But it's
Like what
not
he's
clear
saying.
cut, like it's like more it's like they
Yeah.
blend stuff into each other,
Yeah.
But this is a good one. I added to my plan to watch as well. Okay, cool. So we got 3 for John. All right, let's do Dan now.
Ooh.
All right, who wants to go first for Dan?
You go first. You go first.
I'm going first. All right. So for Dan, I picked out. Let me open up my doc again because I closed it. Where'd it go? Dororo. Have you seen it? Dan?
This is the samurai one, right?
The samurai one with the kid,
Yeah,
yeah.
this is my plan to watch.
Okay.
It's a good one.
So,
That is a good one.
I remember you told me you like Rurouni Kenshin, right?
Yeah, goaded.
And you've seen Samurai
The author's
Champloo.
kind of piece of shit.
And you've seen Samurai Champloo, right?
Mhm.
So like this is similar. I haven't seen it in a while, but it's pretty much about like this curse. I think Joe, you guys have seen it, right? It's like about
Yeah.
this curse and this guy who's like a daimyo, which is like the leader of an area. He has like a son, but the son is cursed, so he like sacrifices the son, and it puts his soul into like different parts of the universe. Like it's a curse. So what happens is that kid gets rescued by like a someone, I forgot who, and he's kind of like disfigured and he gets like turned into like a puppet kind of because he's like missing parts of his body pretty much. So the whole show is about him and this little kid that he like becomes really good friends with. They're trying to like find these pieces of him that are missing so he can become kind of whole again. And it's interesting because he doesn't talk. Like he doesn't have a tongue
Yeah.
until like I don't even know when he gets it, but majority of the show he doesn't have it and it's like interesting dynamic. And it's kind of like Samurai Champloo because it's kind of episodic, right? So it's like not always about the story, but every episode is kind of different.
Oh,
Like
so like every episode is like complete in itself.
it's like their journey. Yeah, it's like their
Okay, I
journey.
gotcha.
So like sometimes they'll come into a town and they met like this girl who's like taking care of this like family and like she's doing a lot to support her family and like a bunch of stuff happens and they have to get in a fight. The action is pretty good too if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
It is good. Yeah.
Um but yeah, good show. It's a 8.24 on Mal. It's on my to be finished list. I haven't actually completely finished the show yet. But yeah, I think it's good. I think you'll like it.
Is there a reason why you didn't finish it yet, or?
I don't remember. I think I was just like got there was a lot of seasonal stuff coming out.
Oh,
So like
okay.
I always had something seasonal to watch and I just never like got around to watching that. Do you guys feel
Okay, I
like
just
that
want, I
too?
didn't know if
Like
it slowed down.
it's episodic, so it's like the
Yeah, yeah,
slowness
yeah.
is kind of built into it.
Yeah.
Um I don't know if you guys feel this way, but like when there's a lot of seasonal stuff to watch, it's like, okay, I just watched 5 episodes this week of like all these shows. Now I gotta like watch more of this other show. It like gets in the
Yeah,
way for me.
exactly.
Yeah.
Same thing, where I mean, sometimes I push through, but I already have a lot on my list, typically reading, watching, so like some things slip through the cracks and I forget about, or I just like, let me just take a break from that. So I
Yeah.
definitely have that same thing.
Yeah, it depends on the season. Like some seasons, I feel like I'm watching like 8 shows that are airing, and then some seasons there's like nothing I'm interested in, so I'm watching like 2 shows, and I can like do a backlog of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. Yep.
Also, John,
Mhm.
what do you read on? Do you use like a tablet, computer, laptop?
So I use my phone
Mm-hmm.
and I use an app called Viz, which is like the Show and Jump. It's the same thing as Show and Jump, but it's just a different app. $2 a month.
Yeah, that's what I use
For
too.
whatever reason, Hell's Paradise, it's on Viz, but I find it on Viz only on the web browser, not the app. So
Huh.
I was reading that on my computer, not so I like there's stuff where's like that's weird. Whereas Viz like you could find it on the web browser, but not in the app. I don't know if because they want to limit you. But then I've also learned in the past where if I'm reading a series, they limit to you. It's not unlimited. You got 100 chapters a day.
What?
Wow. Damn, the
Yo, they
fact that you hit 100
I
chapters.
know, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Bro,
So when I was reading like
that's a
One
fifth of
Piece,
One
like
Piece.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I was
you
gonna say
blow
like I
through that.
binged like One Piece. Like sometimes I like going back, rereading and shit. So
Yeah.
Bro, I
because
was
it's
in
quicker than watching the animation.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, I hit 100 pages.
They
Damn.
need to come out with an app for Kodansha. Like Kodansha needs an app because they have a lot of good manga too.
I
Tag on
mean, isn't
Titan.
that was it? Isn't that a Bookwalker
Is
or
it? I don't know. It's
or
not
I'm
two
thinking of the
dollars a
wrong
month,
company?
probably. I'll tell you that. $2 a
Three more,
month
I
is
think.
yeah, it's like three, but that's like one of the best deals in like anime manga right now.
Yep.
Crazy. So yeah, that's my rec. Dororo.
That's a good
I'll
one.
get to it.
All right, John or Joe, whichever one.
You could go, John, if you want.
All right. So I would recommend to you a show called Drifters. Have you
Hmm.
ever heard of that?
Drifters. This sounds familiar.
It aired in 2016. It's essentially a show where like there's a ongoing war where essentially I guess you could call them guys. They call upon heroes of their time. So you have warriors from the Edo
Oh,
period, like cowboys.
Wait,
So
is
they're
this
taken
basically
right
Fate?
before their death in their time period to
yeah, this
fight
sounds
this
like Fate.
war. To fight this war. So the good guys are called the Drifters, and then they're fighting other warriors with the same principle. They're drafted from their time period, but they're more evil, and they're called Enders or the Ends. Yeah, so it's a pretty interesting
You want to know
anime.
what's
It's really good.
crazy? That show's mangaka, like the person who wrote it, is the same person that wrote Hellsing.
Ooh,
Ooh,
Hellsing Ultimate.
Really.
Yeah. Cool. I didn't
So
know
I
that.
mean,
heard of this show. I
cool.
feel like I've heard of this show.
it's a lot of good action. There's a lot like good story.
Is it one season or is it
It is
a
one
couple?
season, yes.
Oh, okay, so
I
it's one in
believe
one season.
Yeah, I believe they're making a second season. Like, there's been talks about bringing it back up. It's one of those where like it takes forever. I
Yeah.
think because the manga material is not like it's been building up slowly over time. I think it's like a monthly release, not a weekly.
Oh, so it's still going, the manga?
Yeah. Yep.
Are you caught up to that?
No, I'm not caught up to that. I'm not caught up to that. I'm not caught up to that. But no, it's rated a 7.9 on MA on Mall, but I would give it a solid 8 for sure.
Bet I'm gonna add it.
Bro, that's
Yeah.
crazy. I'm looking at the volumes, right? There's 6 volumes. The original first volume was released July 7th, 2010, and the next volume was like 14 months later. It's
Yeah.
like it's like a year, it's like and the one after that is like a year and a half later.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like that's why it took forever. It's taking forever for the second season to come out because it's good. Like I'm pretty sure it's highly rated. And
Well, it looks like there hasn't been a new volume since 2018. Are you sure it didn't end?
Yeah, is this thing like dead?
Oh, actually, no,
oh,
it's not, because it says chapters not yet in volume format, so there must be some.
Oh, so it's probably like a web comic right now, something like that.
most likely, yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. The last
yeah. But like
chapter
I
hasn't been
mean,
released in a long time.
yeah.
All
Oh
right.
yeah. So I would recommend that one to you, my friend.
Thanks.
The art style looks the same as Helsing, which is
Yeah.
cool. I might
So
watch this too.
Azaz, you might hop on it too, man. By all means, everyone can.
Oh yeah.
I'm giving out hand
And
up
it's on
bangers.
Netflix. Like it, I like it. All right. Who's next?
Guess that would leave me.
All
So for
right. We need
Dan,
heaters.
I
We
know
need
that
heater.
yeah, so I mean I've actually recommended this one to Dan before, but and I had another one too, but maybe I'll save that one. But I know Dan loves his slice of life. This one's
Hey.
not this one's not like super slice of lifey. It's a little bit like deeper and it's like when you have to think like it makes you think about life a little bit, but it's a 90s show called Welcome to the NHK.
Oh, right.
And yeah,
I've been
it's
trying to watch.
about a pretty much about like hikikomori, which in Japan is like those people who don't leave their house at all,
Oh, like
and
the
like
need.
yeah, like a neat. And he's kind of like what's the word like scared of the outside, and his mom he doesn't have a job, and his parents pretty much like pay for his living apartment, and they're like kind of giving him an ultimatum, and he meets this girl in a park, and she as part of like a religious group or something, wants to like help him,
Hmm.
and he wants to become friends with her so that he can fake with his mom that he has a girlfriend, so that his mom will leave him alone. And
I bet.
but it
All
actually,
right, I'm in.
and like he ends up like, this isn't really a spoiler, but he has a roommate nearby who's into JRPGs a lot, and he ends up like wanting to make a JRPG, and it's like really good, the writing and the like it's I think I cried, and it was a good one. It was yeah.
Nice. It's from 2006.
Okay, early 2000s. I thought it was 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an older one.
So NHK is a term for like people that just stay in, like hermits, pretty much.
I think it's like this. So the main character is kind of, I forget, he's paranoid that there's this organization that's like looking to get him called the NHK. And I forget a little bit about that aspect of it, but he's like kind of paranoid that there's like this part of the reason why he stays in his house all the time is he thinks he's like made up in his mind that if he leaves his house, this organization's gonna get him or something. But it's like something that's all in his head.
Yeah, it says he thinks that there's an evil and secret organization dedicated to fostering the spread of hikikomori
Right.
culture.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Nice.
And it's got like a really good soundtrack too. The soundtrack's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a pretty different pick. I like it. All right, we got some good picks. All right, let's do Joe next. Anybody want to go first?
You can go.
All right, I'll go first. Um, so I have two, but I'll just say the first one. I'll save the second one for when we go around. So, Devil is a part-timer. Have you ever heard of that or watched that?
I haven't even heard of it.
Okay, so The Devil is a Part-Timer is a reverse isekai. Pretty much what that means is like someone from another world ends up in
In the
Earth.
real world. Okay.
And it's like a slice of life comedy, like action too. It's pretty funny. The second season is trash, but the first season was really good. Pretty much it's like about like the devil, right?
Mm.
And in this faraway world, the devil is basically fighting for control against the humans. So the demons are fighting against the humans, and the devil has like a posse. Like he has his right hand man, a bunch of like his secretaries and stuff. They're evil dudes. They're killing people and shit. So what happens in the first episode is that they are on the brink of losing the devil, right?
Mm.
So he comes up with a plan to escape to this like nether realm or like a different world, and he does, and the humans have a hero that's been kind of leading the charge for the human side. And what happens is the human sees the devil escaping, so the human enters after him to chase him.
Okay.
So what happens is they actually end up in our world, and the devil has to like adjust to living in our world. So he like gets a job at like McDonald's and shit, and his like right hand man is like the housewife, and they're like broke, so it's like funny, they're just like surviving in poverty. And then
Yeah.
they reveal who the hero is, and it turns out that the hero is a girl. So it's like there's like a love hate, like kind of like Kaguya-sama, like who's
Mm.
gonna confess first kind of like deal going on.
Right.
And it's weird because they're like arch enemies, but then they end up as friends. It's just so funny the first season.
It sounds funny.
Him like running the McDonald's, like trying to like be the manager and shit, and like
Yeah.
survive off like nothing. Uh, I think you'll like it. It's pretty
First
funny.
season's
Yeah,
It's a banger.
and I agree with Azos. You really only need to watch the first season. Don't worry about the second one.
Yeah, the first season is just so funny, bro.
That's the thing. I feel like it's hard to find animes that are like that, like actually make me laugh. There's been a few that like I'm like rolling on the ground laugh, and like Kaguya-sama was one of them. So it sounds like it's
I
like a
started watching that actually. I'm on the first. I've
Bro,
watched
it's
the first
so
episode.
good.
Kaguya-sama. I think it takes a few episodes, so I would stick with it a little bit.
Yeah.
Because
So
for me, I watched the first episode like 5 times before I kept going on with it.
yeah. So I watched it with Ikra, and I was like, all right, let me put the English dub on. And I feel like that kind of took me out of the element, the English dub.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's really the narrator. The narrator does it so much justice.
That's
Yeah.
true. I didn't even think about the narrator. Really kind of carries
Yeah,
that
because
show.
the
So,
narrator plays a big part for sure.
yeah,
Which
Because
show? I'm sorry.
Kaguya.
Kaguya-sama.
Love is
Oh
War.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
you know what other show has a great narrator? Fucking Hunter x Hunter. I
Yeah,
love that narrator, bro. Yo, on TikTok, I saw like people were posting passages for panels from like the manga, and like the Hunter x Hunter panel will literally just be writing that like the narrator reads in the manga. It's just
Oh
like
yeah.
pages and pages of explanation.
By the way, I am caught up with that manga too, Hunter x Hunter. It's such a good show and good
It
manga,
got
man. I mean,
canceled though, right? They
the show
finally,
did, but I mean, there's been rumors that they're gonna start it up again. Because I mean, technically, the way they ended it, it's fine as is. They don't need to know that there's
yeah,
another new arc.
Dark
yeah.
Continent,
Um,
whatever.
That was the nice thing about Hunter x Hunter is when I went into it, I knew that the manga writer didn't finish it, but the way the anime ends is actually it kind of closes it off a little bit.
it does,
Like,
yeah. Like
yeah,
if he left it at that, then by all means, it was a good ending for it. But
yeah.
now he's continuing, so
Yeah, he fucked up. He added
it's
a whole
not
new
over.
thing.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
know because the reason why I was saying that is like a month ago I heard news that they were just like, all right, this is never gonna get finished. I heard they literally just canceled it because right now I'm looking it up. It
Really.
says
I heard something like that recently
Hunter x
too.
Hunter is no longer listed as a serialized work from Weekly Shonen Jump, and it is now listed in the archived serializations along with ended, canceled, and transferred works.
Ooh.
So
That's a
they
shame.
might have just been like, bro, like
Yeah, that's true.
we
Now
we
that
we
I
can't
did say
finish
that,
it.
but
Yeah,
now that I'm thinking about it, there were so many things in that show that like I wish I got to see more of. Like the best part of that show was the whole Yorktown stuff with the Phantom Troop and everything. For me, at least,
bro,
Dude,
banger.
Yeah, they were
that
so
was
cool.
so and like those
Dude,
characters, I wanted to see so much more of them.
The
And
Phantom
then like
Troop,
you go into you go into Greed Island and you kind of leave them behind a little bit. Then you go to the Chimera Anarch and forget about the Phantom Troop. They're not even part of the story anymore.
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, if you want, I mean, I guess the reason why they're canceling, I mean, because Hunter x Hunter used to like the story, the protagonist is gone and you Killua, on his journey. But once he found his father, even in the manga, you don't see him again.
Yeah.
You
really.
don't see him again. I mean, the plan was to always reintroduce him, but it became Kurapika's thing,
Oh.
the next arc, because
I heard it's
I don't know if
really
you want me
good.
to spoil. I don't know
Yeah,
if you want me to spoil or anything, but it's essentially Kurapika's show now,
Oh, dude,
and
that
I
was
mean
that is
they left him out for a long time.
long
I
time.
don't think
Yeah.
he was even involved a little bit in the last Chimera
No, he
Anarch.
wasn't. He wasn't even in like
was he
a
in
part
Greed
of the.
Island or any of that? No, right?
He was not in Greed Island, no.
No,
No.
he was
But
in.
they
Okay.
showed him. They showed him like doing other stuff while at Greed Island, but even in the Chimera
So
arc, he was never shown.
all that power up he had was in the Phantom Troop, like the Yorktown stuff. When he like
Pretty
got
much, yeah.
okay,
When
damn,
he
I'm trying.
fought that
But he
like
was
big dude, that shit was
Yeah,
crazy. Bro, the
damn.
Hunter x Hunter, I don't know why. The best arc for me was like the beginning when they're going through the trials.
Yeah.
I don't know why I loved it, bro.
Something about an anime like tournament
Yeah,
Yeah,
style
just like
the whole
the
story.
tournament arc.
Chunin exam like arc. It was just so good. It was
Yeah.
like the
it was.
perfect hook. After that, everything was good too. I think one of the most the where I lost interest the first time was the practice like tower. I don't know. I got kind of
Oh,
bored
the
of it.
fighting tower, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like when they were like learning and stuff like that. It
That's
wasn't
why I
really.
want to watch. That's why I want to watch Yu Yu Hakusho because I hear that one
Yeah, the
tournament like everybody
absolute
talks about.
goated
Yeah.
Yeah,
tournament arc.
Yeah.
What's it called? What is it?
The dark tournament.
Yeah.
I'm on episode 12 of that.
Okay.
It's all
Long
right.
ways away,
Yeah, it's
boy.
good. It's all right. But yeah. So
Yeah, Devil's a part time. I will check that
Devil
out.
is a part timer. Yeah, great show. All right, I'm up next. What do you guys got for me?
Hold on, did I give Joe a recommendation?
Oh,
Actually, you're
yeah,
the only one that went
we've
Azos.
just been on a tangent.
Oh, yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah. I don't know. You feeling sportsy or nah?
I'm a pretty diverse anime watcher, I think.
I don't know, cause I have oldies that are goodies that I like that
I like
that
oldies
never
too.
escape my mind, you know.
Yeah.
So this one, I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's called Ice Shield 21.
Hey,
It's a
yo, eye
football
shield.
anime.
Okay.
Like
What's it,
American
what's it
This one,
called?
football or soccer?
American
Okay.
football
Oh
in
wow,
Japan.
That sounds pretty
Yeah,
interesting. What's it
the
interesting.
called?
protect Ice Shield 21, but is longer than the 12 to 24 episode range. It's got like 80 episodes, but like I liked it. It's good. So it's like a hero's journey kind of thing where essentially the protagonist, he was like a nobody, a gopher, school gopher, and because he was a gopher, he had attained skills to get shit really fast and essentially cut through traffic, you know, like people traffic, and he's an ideal prospect for a running back. Okay, but he has a very small structure, and no one would guess that would be him. So the quarterback of the team saw him like make his moves in public while he was evading people chasing him, and he said, "I want you. You're gonna be my running back," you know. And they don't want like he didn't want to show himself who he was, so they gave him an eye shield. So when he's in uniform, he has a green eye shield, and he's cooking people left and right. He's fast, but as they get play better teams, he develops new skills. He has to get stronger. So it's a good one though. It's got comedy. Um, it's one of those animes. It's pretty good.
That sounds good. I've never heard of a American football anime.
I feel like if that show was made right now, it would absolutely fucking pop
Yeah,
off.
that sounds like a big.
Oh, 100%. I mean, it like obviously it's older, so the graphics are not as they're not up to par to today's standards, but
Yeah.
it's good. I like it.
No.
But old anime has like an aesthetic to it too that you like about it. You like it because it
Yeah.
looks like that. And I think
Yeah.
this is like a time period that I'm not really that familiar with. Like 2000s to like mid 2000s, mid 90s to mid 2000s. This aired from 2005 to 2008.
Yeah.
It's actually
Hmm.
not that old, but pretty good. It looks like Digimon kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, same art style as Digimon, like that time
Is this the
era.
author or?
Yeah.
I honestly don't know, but I mean also same thing where like it's like of course it's a sports anime. Like everyone has their own like ability, you know,
Mm.
Okay,
their
it's okay.
specialty.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We got like Ray
um,
Lewis in that tackling God
Honestly, very
linebacker.
similar. Very similar, yeah. Like the antagonist is a linebacker,
That just makes
top
me
linebacker in the country
really
for high
versus
school.
a running
Yeah, for
back,
high
so I
school.
guess that makes sense.
Yep.
But that makes me think like there's like some there's probably so much like anime about sports that just didn't make it to like maybe this one was popular at this time, I don't know, but that just didn't make it to the spotlight, I guess.
Yeah,
But
I'm pretty sure Eye
um
Shield was popular back then because I think it was in Shonen Jump back then.
I think so too. Like it had a good following, and then I mean, in some of the episodes when I was watching it, I mean, when you if you start watching it, like they'll like the cut scenes, it would be like actual people trying to like teach football, you know, like the mechanics.
It
like
looks like it
actual
actually is a bit long. Like it says there's 145 episodes.
Sorry,
No, that's fine. I just
longer than I
it's a longer
remember,
one.
but
That's a long sports
John, what
anime.
put it
happened to
this way, I
26
watched
cap?
it twice technically because I watched it once. I liked it so much. Like when I decided to go back to it again, I just like I picked my and chose my battles where I wanted to watch again, but I essentially rewatched it. So it's I like it. It's a good one.
Yeah, yeah. I'll check that out.
um who was watching Birdie Wing? Was that you, Dan?
Yep.
How is that? Is it good?
That shit's fun.
Really?
Like, don't take it seriously, but that shit's fun.
Damn, bro. Cool. Have there I recently heard about an anime about that like tiles game. It's like a Japanese game. It's called like Chia something, Chifuru or
Mhm.
something like that.
Oh, Chifaru,
Chifaru,
that one?
something like that. Yeah, it's about like a
Yeah,
girl who plays like this. I think it's not shogi. It's some kind of like tiles game.
yeah.
Hmm.
I forget what. I think it's like the equivalent to checkers. I think.
Yeah, that has
Something like that.
this show has a really high rating on Mal to Shifuru, and also Free Awatabi Swim Club. All considered really good animes. Slam Dunk, Prince of Tennis, Run with the Wind. All right.
Roman Woodwind is goated, dude.
Yeah,
Actually,
that was on one of my recs for a
one of my
person.
favorite sportsmen.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Okay. So Dan.
oh, I was just gonna recommend Gurren Lagann.
Ooh.
Oh, so
Oh, I
good,
can't believe you haven't
bro.
watched this shit yet.
Yeah,
It's
that's been on my
mad
plan
good,
to
bro.
watch. I want to have
Mad
to.
good.
Who's it? Is it who else who like wrote it that wrote something else popular or
This is by the studio is by Trigger. They're the same people who did Promare and Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk.
okay, yeah. And they did what's that other one they did? Akagi did
Darling
they
in the
do?
Franks.
Did they do a Akagi or no? Oh no, Kame got killed they did?
No,
No,
they
No?
did Kill
No.
La Kill. They didn't do a
Kill la
Kill la
Kill,
Kami.
Kill.
that's
Yeah,
what
they
I'm
did Kill
thinking.
La
Yeah,
Kill.
Don't get me started on Agami Got Kill, man. I love that show.
As
And
Death,
then,
as Death.
Bro, you're down bad for that show.
dude, I liked it so much, and
Wait,
then I
really?
read
You
this.
liked it
I
so
read the
much?
manga. Yeah, and then I read the manga. The manga was better, and like I understand why people were so upset at how it ended and like how like the route they decided to go. Oh my god, I was like unbelievable, bro.
yeah.
Yeah, but Gurren
Literally
Lagann,
changed the ending completely.
Damn.
bro, Gurren
So the so
Lagann
the
is
so
like,
the so the anime people didn't like as much as the manga,
Yeah,
or it was like super different.
they did the manga injustice. Put it that
Mm,
way.
mm. Yeah, because I always hear mixed things about like some people like say it's really good, but then there's like yeah something at the end that they weren't happy with.
bro.
Yeah.
So Gurren Lagann, I have a 9 out of 10 on Mal for
Damn,
me.
that's a steep Mal
So this
score.
is the thing. I
I gave it a
remember.
10 out of 10.
Wow. So I remember
Jeez.
why I ranked it so high. The music is mad good,
Okay.
and I don't like mechas, mecha anime.
It's a mecha.
It's kind of a mecha, yeah. It's kind of a
Mm,
mecha. I wouldn't say it's full on mecha, but
You
it's
yeah.
don't like
mecha.
mechas?
I'm not a huge fan of mecha, but this show is like did it so well.
Yeah.
The it scales up so good. Like you starting at the bottom of the bottom, but it's still good throughout.
Yeah.
It's like you starting from like literally beneath the ground, and you end up like I don't even know somewhere in the faraway galaxy.
Yeah, it just
Uh,
gets crazy.
it just ramps up, bro, like crazy, like nothing else. It
Yeah.
ramps up.
Because it kind of really embodies Trigger's whole shit hits the fan when you get late in the
Hmm.
season.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, man. Great show. Great recommendation.
All right, then we got Azaz.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
I got him. I got the first one.
Okay, kick us off.
Hey.
I'm recommending 86.
Ooh,
That's a good one.
heard about
Ooh,
it.
dang,
Heard
you know what's
about
funny? That's on my list to recommend.
heard
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah, all you need to know, Azaz, soundtrack is by Sawano.
Oh,
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 just that's.
Say
I
less.
know
Jesus.
you love your.
Love me some Hiroyuki.
Oh yeah, dude. So I mean, the anime is wartime. Um,
It's a mech.
it is a mech, but not in this
Yeah.
traditional sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
The
war
action is
drama.
crazy. Like you will not see another show with that kind of action.
Yeah.
Like it was action that I didn't think I needed in my life. Like just like these crazy like tank bot and how they like drive these things. It was crazy the action.
Oh yeah, and there's
Yeah.
real depth into the story too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so
it's
it's
kind of
really good in
dark.
terms of like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's dark and also it's really good in terms of like music because they do really well with the whole like shifting the ending into the like the ED.
Yeah.
Uh, love that.
Yeah, so
Actually really
There's
they'll hit
fucked
you
up.
with
I'm
that.
thinking about it more. That show's really fucked up actually. Like it's sad, it's fucked up, there's action.
so I remember the when this was airing, right? Like I was watching other shows when this was airing,
Yeah.
and there's a few things you notice when you decide to like watch a show or not, right? First, I didn't like the name of it. It's just a fucking number.
86.
Yeah, it's like it
That's
Yeah,
the
doesn't.
name of their platoon.
Yeah,
no,
but
that's the
like
name of their people.
Yeah, their people. Yeah.
first impression wise, I was just like, okay, it doesn't really like capture me. It's not really interesting, too interesting of a name. And then when I looked at the cover art and stuff, it just looks like a military kind of like thing. They're all wearing like uniforms. So
Hmm.
I was thinking it's just like military as in like Attack on Titan, like they're a military force. It was like about like the military. But this seems like it's about like future weapons, cybernetically enhanced kind of thing going on here.
Yeah,
So
the enemy is ever expanding and always increasing in strategy and intelligence. So
yeah.
it's a losing battle kind of thing.
So yeah, I never gave it a shot because of those things, but I definitely will now. I'll add it to my plan to
Yeah.
watch.
Also, I guarantee episode 22 will change your life if you make it there.
Really. I do
Music
love me
just hits
some
a
of that.
different. Music just hits a different.
Yeah.
Damn, the second season has even a higher rating than the first season.
Because the second season you get all of the payoff from the first season.
I see. Okay. Cool.
All right. Well, maybe I'll go next. I had a few for Azaz, but I had one that at this point in your anime career, the fact that you haven't seen
Wait,
Evangelion
I knew
yet,
you were gonna say that. I was guessing.
it's just criminal that you haven't seen it
Which one?
yet. Evangelion.
Oh yeah. Okay, I
Well,
definitely need to watch.
it's just
Look,
I just had to
look,
say
look,
that
look,
one
look.
first because that one's got
Look,
to
it's
go on the
fair. It's
list.
fair. He doesn't like mechs.
That's true, but it's not
Because
even
you kind of
about
have
it
to
being
look
a
past
mech.
that. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
it's the show doesn't even like being a mech show is so secondary to the show. It's
Yeah.
like they could have made that show in any setting.
Right. I actually like. You know what's crazy? I actually don't know anything about that show. I
Yeah,
don't
I
even know
think
what it's about. I don't even know
I
like
just
what the
want to
main
know their.
character
Whenever
is.
I
That way.
hear
He's
that
that way.
someone watches Evangelion, I just want to know their impression of this because it's such an out there show, and everybody interpret like some people like it for the action. It's also super psychological, and like it's like I feel like every anime watcher needs to watch Evangelion.
I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna go into it blind.
Yeah,
I'm not
Yeah,
reading any
you
of the
should.
synopsis or anything. I'm just gonna go into it.
it's just crazy. I'm not gonna say it, but it's just crazy going into the show, like you said, thinking it's a mecha, and then you come out of it like questioning life. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, come to us when. Yeah, we're gonna have a group call when you finish
Yeah,
the
we're gonna
season.
need a whole nother. We're gonna need a session just on that.
All right.
But there
Perfect.
is like a lot to watch, I guess. Like there's the show, but then there's like
Some
all the
movies
movies
and
that
Yeah,
stuff.
the
come
rebuild
after. Yeah,
series.
yeah. So it'll take some time to get through it, but
Okay, cool. All right, what I'm gonna do real quick is just keep a tally. So for John, what we recommended was Tanya. Joe, what did you recommend, John?
link click.
Link click, yeah. And what did you recommend to John, Dan?
Akudama Drive.
Agudama Drive. Okay, and then what did people recommend to me? Neon Genesis and 86. And what did people recommend to Joe? I
Wait,
recommended.
you're skipping John. John didn't
I
get to
know.
go for you
I'm.
yet.
We're gonna get to him. I'm just writing this down.
Eye Shield 21
Yep.
for Joe.
Eye Shield,
Gurren
2140
Lagann
episodes. Gurren Lagann.
and Devil's a part timer.
Yup.
And you know what's funny? I know how to say 21 in Japanese because obviously they say I should need Juichi.
21.
They
KD.
say it a lot.
All right. What did we recommend to Dan?
Dan, I recommended Welcome to the NHK.
Drifters.
Okay.
Drifters.
NHK.
Drifters.
The row.
And Dora.
Drifters. Doro. All right. Perfect. All right. John. What you got for me,
Last
bro?
one
What you
for
got for
you.
me? What you got for
I
me,
don't know.
bro?
Like I don't know. I feel like being different and going old school again.
All
Okay.
right.
I am
All right.
lacking in that
Eclectic.
department, so that would be nice.
This one, it's like everyone I talked to, they never heard about it, but I liked it, and it was like a underrated show, I guess you could say, because it's got a 7.49 on Mile, and it's called Air Gear.
Air gear.
Yeah. So the whole
Okay.
premise of the show is that this teenager, he like there's this device called an air gear, is like rollerblading, but put it this way, you could like run up walls with it. It's like mechanical driven, and he decides to like create his own crew, and then they start having turf wars with other people with air gear, and essentially trying to rise to the top, be the
Hmm.
best like air gear rider there is. I forget, there might be like a technical term for like an air gear rider, but that's because that's just the name of the gear.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's nice. It's like a kind of slice of life in a sense where like yeah, they have turf wars and stuff, but like they develop these characters. It's 26, 25 episodes.
Nice.
Um, Technically, there's more to the story. The manga did finish, but they only went past like up to like the first arc or so, and did never aired it again. But the manga did finish, and there's a
Mm.
lot. There's like 300 chapters or something, 340.
Damn.
But I liked it. It's so much so that obviously it's one of those where like I also like when I think about old stuff, it pops up in my head. So wanted
Yeah.
to give it some share some light on this one.
There's some. I feel like all those shows in the 7 range. There's some hidden gems in there that you never hear about.
Yeah, because that's the
Because
average,
everybody,
right?
everybody on Mal, like at least what I do is like if I want looking for a show to watch, I'm looking for anything in the 8s and above, and like sometimes in the 7s, you got some hidden gems in there.
Well, this is average, so like, how I think of it is like 7.5 is like half people gave it an 8 and half people gave it a 7. So
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
there's something there that some people, probably gave it an 8. So
exactly.
I mean, this looks pretty good. It kind of reminds me of like Skate Infinity, even though I didn't see that show. But
That's a good one too, for sure. But yeah, same principle where like they're performing ungodly like aerodynamics in the air, spins, flips. But it's good. It's good. Like I said, the characters are well thought out. They develop them. So
I just love shows with like a concept that like I could never get in anything other than anime.
yeah,
You know
oh
what
yeah,
I mean?
like this
like
one, yeah.
talking about motorized rollerblades.
Yeah.
Bro, what this is mad random, but when I was in Pakistan, right, when I was a kid in Pakistan, there was like this channel that we had. It was like an Indian channel. And sometimes it would have that show Zatch Bell on it in
Bro,
Oh
in
my
like
I
god,
love that show.
in like
I love
in
that
like
show.
Hindi dub. So I realized that's like my first experience with anime ever. Cause it was just like so ridiculous. At that time, I like didn't really understand it, but it was cool. Because it was like these like dolls. This like doll, it like has special moves and shit, and it was like interesting. But like I think with long running shows, they're easier to watch now than they were back in the day because at any time you turn on the TV, it could be any episode. So it's like, what the fuck is going on? Like if I turned
Yeah, as
on
long
One
as it's like
Piece
episodic.
on like Toonami 10
Yes.
years ago, I'm not watching that shit, bro. It's
You could
gonna
be
be in like
anywhere.
Thriller Bark or something. So then I have to like watch it, and then I have to like watch the previous one, and then it's like
Yeah.
crazy. So I think
No,
it's
and then you would
much
have to
easier
wait
now.
for that one day where like they're doing a marathon, so you could like watch from the beginning again, and then
Yeah.
you have to sit there. Yeah, it was annoying. You're right, because it wasn't as accessible in the sense where like you get to pick and choose whenever you want which episode you want to watch, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Now it's
Speaking
much
of which,
more accessible. Back in the day,
yeah,
like there was no Crunchyroll, so you had to watch
mm-mm.
it on YouTube and shit with
Yeah.
the
That's
with
why
the Spanish subtitles.
that's why
Yeah,
like
part
it's a
one of
little
five.
it's a little bit of a different issue, but I feel like nowadays, and like kind of what John was saying before, how he feels like he needs to just read the manga like when a show is airing, because I feel like there's certain shows that are airing that I watch week to week that I realize I don't feel as invested in because I keep pausing that emotion and then carrying it to the next week, and then pausing and then like if I could just binge it, like I feel like I'd like the show so much more. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
sometimes there's some shows that I watch and I'm like, damn, that didn't hit as hard. But I was like, maybe it's because I'm like watching it week to week and I don't even remember what the last episode was about, kind of.
Yeah. No, that's
So
valid. I kind of feeling that fatigue from like Attack on Titan getting split up for like
yeah,
so many times. Like
yeah.
Dude, the
But
memes are ridiculous.
that last thing they released was fire.
it was fire as hell.
That was
Actually.
fire as hell.
Literally.
But I have to catch up and watch a recap from this guy who's really good at recaps on YouTube. I forgot his name. But I have to watch it every time, and like
Yeah,
kind of takes you out of the whole
Experience, yeah.
experience.
yeah.
But I
I
mean,
can't
still
even imagine the people who have been watching One Piece week to week for 10 plus years, dude. How do you do
crazy.
like oh my like just
Yeah.
pausing and like rewatching like you watch week to week that's crazy.
Dude, it hurts, bro. Like
Oh
reading the
my
manga week to week, dude.
yeah.
But the
And it pisses
advantage,
me off.
yeah,
And it pisses me off when they do like bi-weekly. They skip a week. You know, I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
now I gotta
And
wait a
then,
whole
like,
fucking 2 weeks."
and then that Doflamingo fight, bro, they were in that shit for like a year and a half. Are you
yeah,
kidding me?
yeah.
Dude, we're gonna be in
Yeah,
this
we're gonna be.
Kaido
Mama's been
fight
here for
for
a
another
while.
year. What are you talking about? Like,
That's true. That's
The
true.
advantage is like if you are watching it and discussing it with other people every week. But One Piece pacing in the anime is so dog shit. Like
Yeah.
they'll just add like it'll just be like Luffy like trying to get from A to B, but they'll just add like the worst designed like enemies that he like just like punches for like 5 minutes just to like throw something in there.
the
Yeah.
ad
And it's
time,
like,
yeah,
bro, it's
exactly.
so like crazy. I think that
Yeah, that
any
pisses me off.
I think everybody should read the manga honestly in One Piece. Cause can you imagine in the year like 2040, like Oda finally like wrote the chapter that has the One Piece on it, and you're still on the anime? It's gonna get leaked,
Yeah.
hundred
Yeah,
percent.
I mean
Oh, 100%.
I did like last year I did go the route of just watching the anime and I actually loved the anime. I don't know. I loved the anime going through. I don't know what it was about it.
Yeah.
Um
I
cuz I
mean, the
don't know. I think
graphics
it's
are amazing now.
oh yeah, when you hit Wano, dude, I don't know what happened at their budgets,
Yeah,
but
they
oh
flipped
my
the
god.
switch.
Yeah.
I just flipped the switch. Nah,
But
the
I think
the
what I
Wano
like
animation
about
is mad good.
I think what I like about One Piece is it's very like cozy when you're watching it, you know? It's got a cozy vibe to it
You got your
because it's kind
chicken
of like
tender
it's kind
crust
of
on your
goofy
bed.
a little bit. Yeah, it's I like that about the show.
Nah, I think it's great too when you're watching it all together. Like when you don't view it as an episode, you view it as like, all right, I need to finish this arc. Then it's like less so. But if you're
Yeah,
watching it week to week, it's literally 20 minutes a week where
yeah,
shit
and there's
isn't
a
happening.
like 5 minute recap. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
tough.
So, yeah, I mean, times are changing. Anime is mad popular now.
So
Mhm.
wait, am I the only one who actually does really like watching week to week? On
I
the
like
other
I
I
like
hand,
know Dan
watching week to
likes it.
week. I
okay.
like watching week to
I
week.
mean,
I
I
like
think
it.
still
there's
watch. I
advantages and
still watch.
disadvantages.
What I like about it is you can talk to people about it because they're watching it with you. So you're like, there's a little community around it, which is nice. Because when I'm watching some of these old shows or whatever, like I feel like you know nobody's watching it with me, so I kind of like that aspect of it.
Yeah.
Well, my thing is like when it's peak season, right? Like when it was like Jujutsu Kaisen and like something peak airing together in a season, and you wake up on a Saturday and you know that shit is primed and ready for you, like you know that's your time. Every
Oh
week,
yeah.
that's your time. I love that feeling, bro.
Yeah,
Like
that's
when
nice.
Mob Psycho was airing and like Demon Slayer was airing and like Attack on Titan was airing, bro, every weekend I was going to town. And you know what? It's like you break it up, right? So it's like on the weekends you can watch that, the seasonal stuff. During the week you can watch your other like whatever else is in your
Backlog. Yeah,
backlog. So it's like a strategy. I'm not gonna
yeah, it's good to
watch
have a
like
mix.
yeah, I'm not gonna watch like even if it releases on a Tuesday. I think Mob Psycho was releasing on like a Tuesday. I still
Yeah, I think it
wait
was a
till the
Tuesday
end
or
of the
Wednesday.
week, 'cause it's like a routine thing.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
that's me time, bro. You know what I'm saying? Get a bowl of cereal. Now I do it at night, like on Sunday night. to like wind down, it's the best feeling ever. I love it.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, giddy! Can't wait to see what's in store for me this week.
Yeah. All right. So we went around one time and we gave everybody some recs. So for John, I gave Tanya. Joe gave Link Click. Dan gave Akudama Drive. For me, it was Neon Genesis 86 and Air Gear. Joe, you got Devil is a Part Timer. Ice Shield 21. Gurren Lagann, and Dan got Welcome to the NHK, Drifters, and Dororo. All right. Should we do one more go around? Let's do one more go around.
Down for that.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So let's start with John again. So let's see. All right, John, I got one for you.
All right. Shoot.
Psychopaths.
I
Did
saw
you watch
that.
that?
God damn it.
Okay, I was gonna say.
And the movie.
All right, okay. Let me go down here.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Um, let's see. Let's see. Let's see.
Do you want us to go while you're looking?
Yeah, you guys go.
You have one, Dan?
Yeah, I cleared it with John. This one too. It was gonna be Run with the Wind.
Oh, dude, I had that one for John as well.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Mm.
I had that same one.
Double
I was like, I don't think John's watched it
mention.
because it's kind of a sleeper, but
Yeah, I mean
it is phenomenal. Like it is such a good sports anime.
Yeah.
yeah, it's track
Oh my
track team
god.
college.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I think I just saw like an Instagram skit video of this where
Yeah.
he's like running through with a girl and like they're running through the house and the meme was like oh like trying to get somewhere fast or something.
Yeah. And it's nice because it's like in a college setting, right? Like it's not.
Yeah, it's different.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
actually
typical
it's
high school
yeah.
or middle
I think that
school.
aspect was nice about it too.
So what do you guys like about that show? The sport or like the human aspect of it, the relationships?
So for me, it was really more like the interaction between human and actual sport, because it starts off in the beginning like they're all not that really serious about it. It's only like right, it was like three guys,
Yeah.
Mm.
and then toward the end, everyone kind of like buys into it, and
Yeah.
then like there's like a 6 or 7 episode payoff, which just
Yeah.
hits every time, which is
Yeah.
probably why I have
It's
it rated so high. It's one of my
it's
favorite runs.
like Dan was saying, it's like the premise of the show is that and I'm gonna mess this up a little bit, but they're trying to start a track club at school, and they get some people to join who don't run at all. None of them run. None of them are good runners at all.
Right.
But there's one guy on the team who is like pretty much like
Machine.
like a national athlete, and like he works with the team, and they all like start to learn the run. They're all terrible, and like
Mhm.
it's about their journey to becoming good runners. And this guy who eventually feels like he's limiting his potential from staying with this team, but it's also he has to like figure out what's the reason why he's running and what does he enjoy about running. Like, does he want to stay with this team that he's like started off from the bottom, or does he like or does it make more sense for him to go and like become the best he could be in the sport?
Yeah. So it's not like I'm gonna activate my ultra instinct running
Nah,
like
No,
shit.
no, no,
Okay.
no.
Okay. That's what yeah, okay. I like
Okay.
that. Also the main guy kinda looks like
That.
Kageyama from Haikyuu.
yeah, he does.
Yeah, the main character. I don't know if that's the main character, but he kinda looks like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's main.
Okay, so
For John, I had so I had Link Click, I had Run with the Wind, and then I had another two just in case. The first one was have you seen Akagi, which is the mahjong anime?
Hold on. Let me see. Hold on.
It's AKAGI, and it's anime about mahjong, and it's a little bit older. I think it's like
Ooh.
early
Uh,
2000s, kind of.
no, I haven't.
This
Wow.
is actually
Hey, got him.
I think you're
I
gonna
haven't
like
seen it
this one
either. I'm yeah.
because it's like super it's like this guy who is um he's kind of like a sociopath and he doesn't like care about anything, which makes him the best gambler because he has like no care about risk at all. He'll always go for like he'll like give his life for a bet. And he plays mahjong and he's so good at mahjong and he's like taking all these underground like criminals for all their money and like it's like a whole it's like it goes into like the whole analysis of like how he like knows like 10 moves ahead of what
The
everyone's gonna
mind
do.
games. Yeah.
It's a big mind
Gotcha.
game, it's a big mind game show and it's super good. And then I had the last one I had for John was Summertime Rendering. I don't think you watched that, right, John, or did you?
No, I haven't.
Okay. That was a pretty good one. And I think if you like isekai, it's not an isekai, but it's kind of got like an otherworldly
Like Erased.
vibe to it. Yeah, it's like a murder mystery type thing, and uh, it was pretty good.
All right.
Okay, I got that one down. Thank you.
Um, John, I don't think you've seen this, but Bungo Stray Dogs.
No, I have not
Oh,
seen
I
that.
didn't even want to
Okay,
guess.
okay. So this show,
He was sweating.
this show is the most underrated show. Nobody's talking about this shit, but it's mad good. So what it's about is like it's a world of gifted. Is the gifted people have abilities, right? That's not the thing that sets it apart, because like a lot of shows have that. One Punch Man, My Hero, that's nothing new. But in this show, it's about a detective agency. Okay, it's a group of detectives, and they basically solve crimes. And the main character is kind of like has a backstory that kind of plays into the story a lot. He used to be an orphan, and he grew up, and there's a lot of things that still traumatize him, like not being fed, being hit by the people that were taking care of him at the orphanage and all that. What happens is he finds like a home in this kind of group. Think like how Jujutsu Kaisen, the main guy like ends up becoming like part of this group, like becoming a part of like some people that are similar to him. He has an
Yeah.
ability. I'm not gonna spoil what it is, but the main character, he has an ability. So the strength of the show is not the story. The story is kind of like mid, I would say, but it's really about the wild nature of the abilities and the characters, kind of like JoJo's. I don't know. You haven't seen JoJo's, but it's like kind of just like crazy, like people doing crazy shit, crazy fights. Like this one girl has an ability that can like take you into like if you commit a crime, she can like erase any uh like evidence related to that crime. And then there's like this one like super smart guy. His name is Rampo, who can solve any crime. And it's like a battle of the wits. It's like that. It's like JoJo. It's like a battle of the wits, like outrageous like abilities and things going on. Plot. Like there's a huge whale falling from the sky is like one of the main plots in one of the seasons. Someone is making the Moby Dick in real life, and they're throwing it from the top of the sky. So
Okay.
it's really good. Definitely check it out.
All right, I will.
All right, Dan, I believe you are up, my friend.
For rec or
For
in
rec,
record?
wait, everybody gave John a rec?
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Okay, I'm wilding out. So John round two got Run with the Wind, got Bungo Stray Dogs,
And I gave him a
I cog.
Akagi.
and Akagi. Love it. All right, let's go to Dan. All right, Dan. I'll go first. Kill La Kill, bro. Just watch it.
I know, I know. I
Just
still
watch
haven't
it,
gone around
bro.
to it.
Kill La Kill is by Studio Trigger.
I know.
Anime titties, everything, bro. Everything. It's a great fun ride. Like it's not serious. It's just stupid, funny. Music is great. Fights are good. Outlandish shit. Typical Trigger stuff. High school kind of thing turns into like crazy. It just blows up into like
Yeah.
craziness.
The
And
weapons are clothes.
yeah, the weapons are clothes. It's just like craziness. It's what Studio Trigger is personified in one show. The humor is like pretty funny. The music is great. and the animation is good. It's like Studio Trigger animations like you have in Cyberpunk and Gurren Lagann. It came out after Gurren Lagann, so it's a little bit even more refined than Gurren Lagann, but similar concept as Gurren Lagann.
Mm,
Yeah, check it out.
but, yeah, that's been on my list to watch.
Yeah, still trying to get around to it.
Animal.
All right, John, you wanna go next?
Yeah, I'll go next. I got it's called The God of High School.
Bro, I watched that shit.
You watched it? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure.
That
Wait,
was
were
pretty
you part of the
popular when
group
it
chat
was
when we were
airing.
talking about it?
Did you not like it or you liked it?
All was fine, and then it went like 0 to 100. I was like, where the fuck are we in the story?
This man turned
Yeah, I
into a
don't know.
Wukong
It did
from.
throw me
Yeah,
off.
it went to Son Goku real quick.
Yeah, I mean, it's based off a webtoon, and it's funny because I read the webtoon well in advance. The webtoon is finished now. I had no idea, but like once they started making movie or anime adaptations for webtoons, I was like, all right. I mean, so I'm guessing you watched Tower of God.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah, I was
watched
gonna
that
say
too.
because these are both like God of High
Manga.
School Tower God. They're like Korean-based manga, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's webtoon. I mean, I don't know. Like
Hmm.
that's also another thing I read. It's a scroller instead of like a page thing,
Hmm.
which is
Yeah, because
nice.
it's like the long panels, right?
Yep, long panels. Yep. So the actions and it's colored, all color too. So
Tower of God season 2 is coming soon, right?
oh
Yeah, I
yeah,
think it's
Yeah.
two.
that
I think it's summer.
I've never seen that
that
show.
webtoon is not done and it's still good.
That was good. That was good when I liked that show when it was airing.
Yeah, that was fun.
Although the female character in it, my God, dude, Jesus Christ,
Wanna
Yeah, bro. I
explain?
remember
ugh,
you were heated.
Fuck her, yo, fuck her. All right.
Jesus, yeah.
So okay. I got one for you. It's an isekai. I liked it. It was a more recent one. It's called The Eminence in the Shadow.
Yep, my plan to watch.
Bro, I
Haven't gotten
started
around to
watching
it.
that because you told me to, but I never
Did
finished
I
it.
mean you probably didn't like it then? I don't know.
No,
Right,
I liked
It's
isn't
it.
it
I
like an
finished
just
for the
anti
season.
isekai, right? Or no?
It's a what?
Isn't it like it's more of like a parody, darker parody of an isekai, or do I have that wrong?
You could say so, because I mean, the first episode you're gonna see that it's a man who is in the in the Earth world where he trained all his life to try and be a superhero, but he realized the limitations of his body. He's only so much he could do, and he tried to save someone, got hit by Truck Coon, and reborn in a new world, and then he retains knowledge, and then he just becomes super OP in a world of magic and stuff. So it's good, but like, and then there's an aspect to it where like he starts making up bullshit stories, but it turns out that all the bullshit stories that he made up are real.
Uh,
Bro, I watched the first episode
Inadvertently.
of that. I wasn't sure what the hell was going on. It was like some NPC girl, like, I don't even know what was going on.
Yeah, so and then he ends up making a cult following that he thought was just he was just helping out girls and whatnot, but then they took everything he said literally and made him like essentially like an underground kingpin kind of thing,
Mm.
fighting an invisible warrior that he never thought was real, and it turns out it's true. So it's good. It's good action. The season's done. It finished like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. Uh, it's a good isekai. I've seen a lot of cheesy ones, but this one I like. It's a good one that I've seen in a long time
yeah, it's on my
Nice,
queue on High Dive, so I'm gonna get to it.
for sure.
nice. And then for Dan, I had I think I've mentioned this one to Dan before too. It's another slice of life that I watched. I don't know how landed on this show because it's like earlier 2000s kind of, and it's called Bunny Drop, which is a show
Bunny drop, bunny
about.
drop.
It's also
Wait,
called
Usagi
Izaki
drop,
Drop. Yeah, I think the
Usagi drop.
English translation is Bunny Drop, but it's Izaki Drop, I think, and it's about a guy who's like maybe like in his late 20s, early 30s, who ends up finding out that his grandfather, who just recently passed away, has a little girl that he was looking after who is supposedly the grandpa's daughter. And which would make him, I guess, the girl's sister or brother. But like he ends up like taking in this little girl and like and kind of like taking care of her, and it's like a super wholesome show, and he kind of like it's like a super adult show, and he ends up like putting his life kind of on hold to take care of this girl, and it's super wholesome. The show is super good, and then I found out, I don't
Oh
know,
wait, no, the actual ending in the
dude.
manga.
So then I
Yeah, I know.
found
Yeah, I
out
know it. I know it.
in the manga it turns criminal. Like I won't say what happens,
Oh
but like
hell no, bro! You're gonna get
dude,
me banned on
the
Twitch.
show is so good and it's so wholesome and it's like probably one of my favorite slice of life animes. And then I just heard about how the manga ended and I was like, bro, oh god. I'm
All
not
right,
gonna spoil it,
I'm
but
gonna
people
add
can
my
look
to
up
my
on their
plan to
own.
watch, but
Yeah, it's
not
super. I
tell
think it's a good
anyone.
adult like it's a good adult show. Like some slice of life, it's like still kind of high schooly and like a little bit too romance, but this is like an adult mature show.
Right. Damn.
Yeah.
Good man. Looks pretty good. So we're done with Dan.
Yep.
Hmm.
All right. We are at Joe. Joe.
What do you got?
I need to find one.
Who wants to go first? You go first, Azaz? I'll let you go.
Yeah, I'll go first. Seven Deadly Sins season 1. Just
Okay.
watch
Okay.
the first season,
All
bro.
right.
It's like shonen, bro. It's like your typical shonen, and it's about like it hooked me, man. I'm not gonna lie. When I started watching that, it like I watched like 2 seasons straight in like a week because it's a great hook, right? What it's about is basically like it's kind of like medieval times, medieval settings, and there's a group of like these really strong knights. They're called Seven Deadly Sins, and each of the knight has a sin that they represent.
Mm.
Now what happens is there's some kind of uh I guess someone deceives someone, or there's like some kind of like infighting that happens, and the king or one of the rulers dies, and they believe that it was the seven deadly sins, the army, that kind of like betrayed the kingdom that they were working for. They're basically like like a militant group for hire, right?
Right.
And so they get kind of hunted, and the seven deadly sins end up disbanding. The main guy, the leader, his name is Meliodas. The show is about him. He's the main character. And now there's a new threat in the kingdom, and his help is kind of needed. And this girl, who is basically the princess of this kingdom, goes out to look for help, or I forget what she goes out, but she runs into him. The story is about Meliodas and this girl and like this little pig. They basically go out and try to find all of the sins, the other sins,
Mm.
to prepare for this battle that is forthcoming.
Oh, wow.
And it has one of my favorite characters that got absolutely butchered. He has one of the coolest like abilities I've ever seen in any anime. He comes in season 3, but it's a great show. It has really good fighting and plot in the first season. It's a banger.
It is.
John would agree. The first season is a
It
banger,
is
bro.
I will
really
check it
good.
out.
Really good.
I've been meaning to watch it because you talk about it so much.
Yeah.
Um, so good to the point where like I would recommend reading the manga and not finish the anime entirely,
Mm.
because the anime towards the end does it a little injustice. But yeah,
I'll check it out. I'll check that one out. And another one that you always talk about is that I haven't watched is Hellsing.
Yeah, Hellsing Ultimate is really good. Um,
Yeah.
that one is mostly about like Nazis fighting vampires. And like Dracula is like based on a real character. Alucard is like a vampire, right?
Hmm.
So this is like a take on that kind of mythology. This guy Alucard, which is Dracula backwards,
Hmm.
he is basically this demon that is kept by this family to protect them. And
Hmm.
he's not a good guy. He's an anti-hero, right? He's not a he kills people. And they let him out on the condition that he will help the family once again and be willing to, do what needs to be done to protect humanity. Sometimes to protect humanity, you got to kill other humans.
Yeah.
So this guy, he's not pulling any punches. He just like goes out and like slaughters. So this anime, what really sets it apart is it's so fucking violent, bro. It's really violent. It's kind of like it's as violent as like Devilman Crybaby. Like it's kind of like in that realm of things,
Hmm.
like Berserk or like one of those kind of shows.
Hmm.
A lot of blood, a lot of like obviously there's like Nazism in it, and like the main antagonist is really well written character. He kind of reminds me. He's up there with like Ashalad as far as like
Hmm.
villains for me. He's like a pretty good villain,
Yeah.
and it's just crazy. Like the fighting. At some point, he has to fight the church, and he has like these big ass guns that are sick, and he has like swag. Like he has a big red coat. He got his like glasses. He just like has no emotions, and he just pulls up and just beats the shit out of people and kills them.
Damn.
It's a good show.
I'll check that out.
Yeah. And then since this is probably gonna be the last go around, um, I wanted to recommend BNA, which is a Studio Trigger show. If you haven't seen that, that's a good show too.
Another trigger.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Definitely heard of it. Just looking it up. Okay, yeah. All right, sweet.
All right, so Joe got Seven Deadly Sins. John, it's your turn.
Yeah, so I was gonna recommend to Joe. I don't know. I mean, do you like mechas, or are you not opposed to a mecha one?
I don't usually seek out mechas. Like they don't
Gotcha.
draw, but when I do find one, I need to watch more of them. I started watching recently the new Gundam season
Hey, yo.
Ooh,
and
Iron-Blooded Orphans, or are you talking about
No, no.
the
the which
Witch from
one?
Witch
Mercury.
of
Witch from
Mercury?
Mercury, and I watched the prequel episode and it was fire. So I was like, I'm
Yeah,
definitely open to
that
mech.
one you have to watch because in the middle, I like, in my opinion, that show kind of like slowed down for me, but then
Mm,
it picked up towards the end again.
yeah,
No, so I was gonna recommend the anime called Aldanoa Zero.
Bro, you're gonna
Aldanoa
recommend them
Zero.
both seasons or just season one?
Elden
I
was
was just gonna do
Dan
season
shits on
one.
that show. Last time I asked him, he's like, "That shit's trash."
Elden was zero.
I was gonna only recommend
Second
season
season
one.
ain't good.
Season
It ain't
two you
good.
could miss.
All right, I'll check that out.
Wait, is the first
Which
episode
one?
is with that one scene, right, John? No, you know the scene I'm talking about? Where everything goes to shit?
Goblin Slayer.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
I'll check that
yeah.
out.
I mean,
The quick one
I,
too.
I
So
I enjoyed it. I didn't like the second season as much, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe just the first
First season's
season.
good. First season's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
So it's essentially about it's similar to Witch of Mercury in the sense where like there's a Mars colony and then there's an Earth colony and there's a war between Mars and Earth. So this is in the midst of conflict, and you have essentially a high school 15-year-old who, in the heat of the moment, man's a mech and he assists in rescuing a princess, I believe it was, and that's how the story starts.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, he becomes absolutely filthy in maneuvering that mech, and very essential to the story. So I would recommend it. It was good. It was good.
Awesome.
But like Dan said, he doesn't like the second season. I also don't like it as much. But just first season's good to go.
All right, I will check it
Would you
out.
guys recommend watching like Mobile Suit Gundam from like the 90s or no?
Dude, well, they're supposed to
So the thing
remaster
with
it,
that
right?
is it's a trip. You had to do it in the correct order, and I wouldn't recommend it if you're not prepared to do it. especially if you don't
It's
like
old.
mecha.
It's old, bro.
Old,
I
old,
don't
like
know.
Bro,
80s
dude, the
old?
first
Too old. Too old.
bro, to the
There's
point
such
where
a
like
thing as too old.
I tried to do that, start from the original Gundam because I'm like, let me just like rewatch the whole series. I could not finish the first episode of the original, that because it was so cheesy and like so
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
bad and graphic,
The
bro. It was
reason,
1979.
bad,
yeah, dude. The
dude. And
reason
then
I.
like
Hey, go ahead.
I did a recap, I just went online, did a recap of it, and I was like, bro, like even the story was mid, bro. Like what the
Yeah.
reason it blew up is because like, oh my god, this is the first time like you seeing a mecha,
Yeah.
like this
Right.
whole idea being introduced,
Yeah.
So the story was missed. I couldn't even
think
bother. I would
you
not
should.
recommend, bro.
I think you should watch the new season though, because you don't need to watch any of the other Gundams.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so the
exactly.
thing is
Yeah.
with Gundam, they have a
Which
bunch
one
of
is that?
alternate
The
universes.
Witch of Mercury.
Okay.
It's like its
Well,
own
one
thing.
I would recommend the one prior to that one is called the
Blood
Iron
Iron.
Blooded Orphans.
That's my
Mm.
favorite one.
That one I would recommend.
I
If you
have
don't
like
like, if you come out not liking that, then you have no hope for Mecha, bro.
I have a friend who like actually it's one of Shirley's friends who's like obsessed with like miniature like putting Gundams together, and like he does like all of the like painting and stuff, and like this like the
Ooh.
detail work on
Oh,
it.
Mhm.
And like I'll always like go to his house and see like his station where he's doing all the painting. It's like insane what some of these people do to the to the to the figures. It's crazy.
Have you
Oh
guys
yeah.
seen Darling in the Franks?
yes,
Nah.
sir.
Is that an anime?
Yeah.
It is.
It's a mecha.
Oh, it's a mecha.
It's a very controversial mecha, but how come no
You
one suggested Dress Up Darling to me?
You haven't watched that?
You haven't
No.
watched?
I'm just assuming you've seen that.
Oh, bro, I thought you saw it too. That's why I didn't
I,
even
I
bother.
No, I
mean, I
don't
was
really
gonna say,
watch
I think
romance.
Atos is gonna like that.
Yo.
Don't
I
worry,
think
I've
you'll
seen the
like
important I've seen the important clips.
No, you probably saw like remakes of those clips.
it. Oh my
John, I'm
god.
just curious, what is your favorite anime? Like,
Oh, dude, it's hard to
Bro, you
categorize,
put him on the
man. Like I
spot.
have so many
what is your
different genres that
favorite
I like.
fighting anime? 'Cause
Fighting?
I feel like you have such a wide palette because you've been bringing up some like early 2000s shows. So I feel like you don't discriminate when it comes to, the show. It could be like from the early 2000s,
No, I don't.
mid
But like Joe said, there is a such thing as too old. Like original Gundam is too goddamn old. But no, I like all kinds, bro. I started off watching current stuff, and then I remember Sean. He would recommend all these older animes and like all hits too, man. I remember he was like, the first one he recommended to me was Angel Beats.
Dude, that's the first one Sean that's the first anime I watched and
Never
Sean
seen it.
recommended it to me.
Same here, and I hated him for it.
I know,
Dang.
I thought you're
dude, I flew by that fucking show in a day and a
Yeah,
half,
yeah.
and then I was so upset
I
at
was
how it
hooked
ended. I
after
was
that.
like, heartbroken.
Wait, John, I thought your
But
first
no, yeah,
anime was a Future Diary, wasn't it?
I mean, I remember it's distinctively it was Angel Beast first, but then he also recommended Future Diary, which was also a banger and very different from what I used to like
Hate
my
Future
takes on
Diary.
anime for sure.
Fucking hate Future Diary, bro.
You hate it?
I hated it. I dropped it after like 3 episodes.
Yeah, honestly, looking back on that shit was dog.
I couldn't take it.
I like I said, it was one of those like I think I liked it because it was just like the first
Edgy.
take on that type of anime
Yeah.
for me, like that kind of genre.
John's got a point because there's some anime that I think about that I really liked, and then I wonder if it's just because it was like my first anime. Like I
Your
think of,
introduction to that genre,
I
yeah?
think of like Your Lie in April, and like I think if I watch that now, I don't think I like Your Lie in April anymore. Like I feel like I liked it because it was like the first show I watched like that. If that makes sense. It was a good
Yeah.
show though, but like I gave it a 10 out of 10. But like looking back on it, I don't know if I'd give that a 10 out of 10 again.
Bro, Your Lie in April, the piano compilation still hits on YouTube. If you're working or something, it'll bring back those memories and like that wound is still fresh, bro. That wound is still fresh.
That's
Um,
funny.
yeah. No, I agree. I agree. I think like I didn't like Code Geass when I watched it. That like
Dude,
the first
so
the first show that I like, so I watched like Naruto, right?
Yeah.
And then we all met
Yep.
up at Rotterdam, and it was like, all right, there's shows other than Naruto out there. The first show that I like watched really was Code Geass, because Sean told me to. He was like, oh, even my mom watches it. And I was like, okay, I'll watch it. And it was good, but it wasn't like there's a
World
certain
changing.
expectation when you're coming from shonen. Like I want to see people fight, and that's why I think I don't like mecha, because that show is a mecha, and
I
it
was
was
gonna say
No, I
maybe it's
mean,
the mecha hater in you.
yeah,
is it more the war drama aspect of it or no?
I agree
it's
with
just
Azaz though. I
slow,
watched
bro.
Code Geass, but I think it's because it was so hyped going into it because everybody talks about it that it just couldn't meet my expectation because everybody talks
It,
about
it,
it.
it was hyped too much. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I like Code Geass. Fuck you guys. No, I'm kidding. I like Code Geass. I mean, I liked how it was different. You know, yeah, not a lot of action per se, but when the action was there, it was pretty good,
It was
decent. You
good.
know,
I
but
mean,
I
it's
like
still one of my
the
favorite
mind
endings.
games of it all. You
Yeah,
know, where it was
that
all
was
the
good.
But I
plotting
think
and
let me say this: I think Death Note did it better.
Bro, you dog.
very true.
No
It's
shot,
100%.
dude.
I agree
I
with
think
that.
Death Note did the same shit as Code Geass, but I think it did it better.
Code Geass
Except
had some things that were phenomenal. Like the ending was super good.
yes,
I
the
don't think
ending
there's
was
been an
good.
anime like that in anime since that show. But there were some things in the show, like for me, what bothered me was like
Pizza?
the thing with the dad was solved in like an episode. Like they get to the dad, and then like it ended. I was like, oh, dude, there's gonna be this huge battle between him and his dad, and then it was just like done in an episode, and I was like,
Mm.
what?
I
Yeah,
think
like
that's
it
the
builds
ending
up.
of the
You're right.
first
It builds
season.
up. It builds
Yeah.
up, and then anticlimactic at how they resolved it. I'm like, what the hell happened?
Also, the art style is like Yu-Gi-Oh style. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
do it for me. Just doesn't do it for
There's
me.
some shows
See,
like
I
that where I
grew up
see
on
the
Yu-Gi-Oh,
yeah.
so I didn't mind. Sorry, Joe.
Now I was gonna say there's some
Yeah, that
shows
whole
where I look
studio.
at the like the cover and I see how the figures are drawn and I think I'm not gonna like it, and then I get into the show, I'm like, okay, it's actually not as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. Code Geass. I don't
Has
know.
anyone watched Baki?
No.
I
No.
have.
Do you like it? I hear it's like a crazy show.
Um,
I hear they got like Trump in it. They got like
Trump?
Muhammad Ali in it. They got like Obama in it.
What
it's a
the
good
fuck?
martial arts show. It's good. I
I
Wait,
like
hear
it.
I
wait,
hear it'll
wait.
get you hype. I hear it'll
Wait,
get you hype.
Trump and Obama are in it fighting?
Yeah.
What?
They got like a
Yeah,
Muhammad Ali arc.
that shit crazy.
I
Bro,
mean,
what
so
the
the art style is definitely different than what you guys are ever gonna see. Like the muscles are grotesquely like defined.
Nah, we've
It's
seen that in JoJo's, bro.
insane. No, this is a whole new level, bro. You're talking about muscles on top of muscles,
I've been,
having muscles of
yeah,
their own.
I've been hearing a lot of people talk about it recently, and I was wondering if I should watch it.
Yeah, watch it before you work out.
I heard it gets you hyped, like to work out.
It does.
Wait, did someone not
Because
give
Baki's
Joe
father is technically the strongest in the world, and like he's an animal, and he beat the shit out of Baki, and like Baki's also like trying to do it, like he's trying to be a better
I heard
fighter,
there's
but
a
it's like
scene
kind
where
of a
he's. I heard there's a scene where he's like having sex, and his dad is like
Bro, isn't
watching him
that
in
like
the
the first
corner,
episode?
like
dude.
cheering him on, like you have to do this, like you gotta be strong.
Yeah, yeah. There's a scene like that. Yeah.
That's going on TikTok. Okay, wait. Did someone not give Joe a recommendation? I gave
Oh
him.
no, I didn't yet.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
John gave me one, and you gave me one.
What did John say?
John gave me BNA.
I'll
No, I
Oh
gave
no,
you
no,
BNA.
Aldino
no
was there.
no
Aldino was there.
Aldenoa, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
All right, Daniel Senpai, take us home.
I'm gonna do Amagi Brilliant Park.
Wow. Amagi.
Amagi Brilliant
Is it about like a
Park.
carnival?
Why
So it's
does it sound
basically
like
this.
a hentai?
It's basically this high school kid who's like super narcissistic and smart, basically Kanye.
Okay.
What the fuck?
That's literally his name is like Kanye or some shit like that. But he's basically tasked with resurrecting this amusement park full of
Okay.
like little costume figures, which are actually like fairies. But it's just ridiculous how he goes about doing it.
Okay.
So it's
I,
just a comedy.
I'll check that out. I feel like I've seen this on your anime list. I think you rated it super high, right? Or maybe
7.
not. Okay,
I mean,
This
it's about
man,
average what I do.
I'll check it out.
bro. What
All right.
we don't have Sean here, but one of the first two two animes that Sean recommended to me that I dropped within the first episode. One was Heaven's Lost Property.
I liked Heaven's Lost Property.
It was like basically this guy can summon like any girl from like this
Right,
world.
or angel.
Yeah,
John.
angel.
No. So what ended up happening is that an angel fell on top of him and bonded like a relationship, and then like having to fight other angels. It was weird, yeah. So
and
it
this
was weird,
and the
but again, it's
second
one of
one.
those things where one of the first like introductions to, thanks to Sean, I
He fucked
enjoyed
with
it. I
it. He
Yeah, I
guess.
fucked with it.
appreciated it. I appreciated it.
Sean will give you recommendations that like you can't find like
At all,
online. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Bro, the
I had
second
no
one,
idea.
this guy told me, I forget even don't even remember the name. It was like this guy who's really good at online dating simulators.
Wait, the
So he,
world God only knows?
yeah,
That
the
shit's a
world God
banger,
only
dude.
knows. Yeah,
Yes,
nah,
that one I
bro,
liked more so
Bro,
than Heaven's Lost
that's
Property.
actually good. It's
nah.
actually
I
good.
dropped that shit in a heartbeat.
What's that show called?
The world
World
The
God
God
world
only
only
knows.
God
knows.
only knows.
Real God only knows that. Damn. All right. Well, I guess we got Azaz now.
The world God only knows. Yep.
All right. Who wants to kick Azaz off?
All right, yeah. Round two.
All
Round
right,
two.
so I'll go first. It's a show called The Irregular at Magic High School. Have you seen that?
No, the irregular
Bro, is he gonna like that one?
magic
At Magic
high
High School.
school. The irregular at Magic High School?
Yeah.
I don't like high school, I'll tell you that. At Magic.
This one
Okay.
I really enjoyed. It's about essentially, I don't know where to start. Dan, did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay, yeah. So I
I
mean,
didn't.
it's so
I didn't continue it, but
the
Okay.
first season was good. You only need to watch the first season, okay? So it's essentially about the protagonist. He's in high school. Magic exists in the world, but not in the sense that you think. They have to use equipment, and the equipment would like digitize code, and it'll like summon a particular magic, you know. And this guy, he's a genius, but also a very well like mixed martial artist. He's a jack of all trades kind of thing. Um, it turns out like I'm trying to remember the plots because there was like there was different threads, but I mean, so there's like a high school battle, you know, like where they fight other high schools and stuff. And then it turns out that he also used to work for the government, and he has to run missions and stuff.
yeah. So yeah, basically he's basically secret OP. That's really it.
Oh,
Secret
okay.
OP, yeah.
Sounds interesting.
I'll
How
add
do
it
you
to
keep
the
all these
list.
shows straight in your head, John? I feel like
Yeah,
you
for
watch so
real.
much. How do you even remember these shows? Like I have trouble remembering shows, and I have not nearly watched.
Yeah, I mean, I like this one because it was different take on magic, and I don't know, I like that secret OP kind of thing where like you're not blatantly just showing power, or
That's
I,
why you
I
like
like more
Isekai
so
kind of
when you
guy.
work for that power, but I mean, this one like he worked for it, but like it's already to the point where like okay, well he's that guy already, but he just people don't see it until he starts displaying it because I don't think he's ever been in high school, you know, he's just been like kind of military bred kind of thing, so
Nice.
it's good. The action's good. The story might be mid, but it is what it is. It's different.
Nice. Thanks.
Hmm.
What you boys got for me?
I got one more for you, and then I might have to go after this.
Yeah, we're just
Uh,
gonna do me and
Got
then I
work in
think
the
we're
morning,
good.
right?
yeah, Shirley's going to bed soon, and I'm like right next to her. But so for Azaz, I had so I said Ava, and then I actually had Kaguya-sama, but you've started that.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then the only other one that I think is really good, but I think you got to be in the right mood for it, is March Comes In Like a Lion.
Oh
It's
shit,
like it's an
Mm,
emotional
so good.
roller coaster. Like it's like if you're ever depressed, I would watch that show. Like it like tackle it's like this guy who's you've probably heard of the show before, but he's kind of a shogi. Is it
yeah, like
shogi? Is that how you say it?
Mastermind or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
shogi.
prodigy. And
Yeah.
he's like he basically is like not in school anymore because he's like so good and he's like pursuing shogi and he doesn't really have much of a family and he's like kind of like just I don't know, he's kind of like just generally doesn't have a lot of friends, kind of depressed and he has this family that kind of takes care of him that I guess is like he's friendly with, and it's kind of about his journey of becoming one of the best shogi players, and like, but it's more so about like bullying and depression and things like that. So it's definitely not a pick me up show, but it's like I haven't seen another show like that. It was super good.
Yeah. Looks good. I like shows like that. I mean, I'm not gonna say that's my like go-to category, but I watch things like what's it called? Where the girl is like deaf.
Oh yeah, the
Silent Voice.
Silent Voice. Yeah,
Yes. I do like watching those kind of things from time to time.
yeah.
So yeah, I cool. That's a good
And then
one.
the only other show I had was, and I haven't even finished it yet, is, and we've talked about it, or like not here, is Monster. I think you'll like because
Oh, yeah, I
it's a
need to
long
watch
one though.
that.
It's like 70 something episodes, but it's kind of I know you like the kind of like killer type shows.
What are you trying to say? I got sadistic.
Yeah, it's kind of like murder mystery type thing, and yeah, it's pretty. It's like a early 2000s show.
Word.
All right.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about it because I had another one on my list for Azos, and I think you would like it better than the one I just gave you.
Okay.
Oh
What
no.
is it?
It's called Terraformers.
Oh, I've heard it.
Oh, Terraformers.
Terraformers.
Yeah.
Terraformers. Okay.
I heard that that
Hey
show's
yo.
really good.
Yo, my brother's in
So
chat. What's up, bro?
What's up, man?
Terraformers.
yeah,
Okay.
so the anime is about essentially they're trying to terraform Mars.
Bro, there's a board
Uh
game called that, Terraforming Mars, where they literally do that. You have to compete with other players to like make Mars habitable. Sorry to cut you
yeah,
off.
but no, you're fine. But then there's life on Mars, and it's
Like
like
cockroaches, right, or something?
super highly genetic cockroaches that are fast, strong,
Wait, have you seen this, Joe?
lethal.
I've heard I've heard people talk about this show, and it
It's
sounds
really good. And essentially, humans are in conflict with trying to eradicate them and figure out what the hell's going on because it seems like there's an inside job from the Earth side too. But the only way they could fight these super strong and highly capable cockroaches are by essentially genetically altering their own bodies, and you have to go through a procedure, and it's like a 50% chance of survival of success rather, either way you take it, and they're genetically altered with other animals from Earth. And
Damn, bro.
depending on like your own genetics, it depends on what you can be. So like the protagonist, he has like a particular praying mantis kind of.
That reminds me of nothing. Praying Mantis
Yeah,
always
no,
reminds me of Marco Polo on Netflix.
no, sorry, it's not a praying mantis. It's like a moth type, but they only like to transform. They have to inject themselves, So it's not like they're always powered up. And there's a drawback. It takes a lot of energy to do this, so they can only fight for so long before they're exhausted. But there's hundreds upon hundreds of cockroaches on on Mars, so it's a good anime for sure. Good
I
action
heard it's
scenes.
I heard it's like brutal, like it's
It
very
is brutal.
Like
Yeah, it's
violent.
brutal.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like there's like people will die.
Word. All right, I'll
When I
add
first
that.
watched it, I was so creeped out of how the cockroaches look because they're humanoid, and then
They
their
actually look
faces are
pretty
just
creepy.
Yeah, super creepy. And I think they actually made a live action, but I never watched the live action.
I can only imagine live action.
Yeah, yeah,
Probably ugly as
yeah.
hell on that.
Ugly as fuck. I mean, they made it realistic for sure, but terrible, terrible. But no, it's a good struggle for survival kind of anime, you know.
All right,
And
Dan.
some of the, like so, and some of the powers are pretty cool too.
Yeah.
I got. Have you watched Death Parade?
No, that's actually on my list, but yeah, I haven't seen it. I love the concept of it. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Oh, okay.
Wait, is this the one where there's like it's like a game show?
Yeah, basically, two souls, and then they play a game, and then they decide whether or not one goes and gets reincarnated, or one goes into the void.
Yeah. It's like he's like a bartender, right, in the afterlife, and then
Yeah,
people
he's a
like
bartender.
that
Yeah.
are in limbo that
Yeah,
get to see
I've
him.
actually watched this a long time ago.
Yeah,
OP's a
my man had
banger.
watched so many anime, he forgot he watched it.
Oh yeah, yeah. This
I
is
guess.
one where like it was only 12 episodes, so I flew by, and like I remember bits and pieces of it. Like if I were to watch it again, it'll all come back. But
Yeah.
yeah, I watched this for sure.
I've heard of this one.
Yeah, I guess the other one I'd do is Buddy Daddies.
Yo, that's like Spy Family, right? I've heard of that show.
Yeah, it's like Spy Family, but it gets to like it actually
Oh,
gets serious.
yeah. This came out recently, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
Buddy
so the whole
Daddies.
thing is like they're both hitmen, and then they kill the the girl's dad, and then they have to take her in.
Mm.
But it's basically how she kind of changes their whole view of like life and how they really want to pursue it.
I might watch that one with Shirley.
Bro,
It's always I
there's
don't know if you guys feel the same way with like your girlfriends, but like I have to like sometimes I'll see a show and I'll be like, oh, Shirley will like this one.
Oh yeah, I
yeah,
curate.
Oh yeah.
Kaguya-sama, bro.
Do that.
But she's
I
not
don't know.
really I don't think she's really into it, but she is into one show that I'm surprised, The Ranking of Kings. We started watching that. We've watched the first five
Really?
episodes. Yeah. I've
Like
never had
how can you
success
not
with
love
her,
Boji?
like with watching a show like that. She liked that more than Kaguya-sama.
I
Bro,
think
I was watching Ranking the Kings like in the living room, and then Kelly was just like on the table doing her nails, and then it got to the scene where Boji was dodging all the snakes, and then she was popping off.
Yeah, yeah. But the only thing with that show, I feel like the second half falls off in that show. The first half is so good. When like they
Wait,
start
really?
get
You think it falls off in the second half?
yeah, I think for me a little bit, yeah. It's just like
Until the end for me.
the ending is really good, but the second half
Yeah.
when they're trying to build up like the whole story with like the guy in the metal like thing, and then they're like trying to stop him and all that. I don't know.
yeah, it's I guess it's a little slow in the middle,
I
but
think if it was 12 episoder, I think it would be perfect.
yeah.
True.
But it felt like they were going on for a while.
Have any of you guys watched the Fate series or no?
I
Only
have. I mean, I haven't
Fate
watched the
Zero.
latest
Is it
stuff.
worth watching or no?
It's really good, but I honestly lost track of the order. Like it's a
Yeah, there's
blur
an order
because
to it.
Yeah.
If you actually want to
like
get
there's
into
only
it.
two
the,
shows though, isn't there?
no, there's like four, right?
Well, those are movies, Heaven's Feel and all that.
Yeah.
But I watched uh so Fate is by the same people that do Demon Slayer and
Yeah.
like all that. So the graphics are phenomenal.
Hmm.
And
Oh yeah.
and
On the
somehow
later ones, yeah.
yup. And somehow I ended up watching Fate Stay Unlimited Blade Works, which is like a continuation of Fate, the original Fate. So I watched the second part before I watched the first part, and the second part was phenomenal, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
I would say I would definitely recommend
Wait,
that.
wait, wait. Wait, is Unlimited Blade Works sequel to Fate Zero or Stay Night?
That's what I'm saying. There's so
It's
many
a
different variations, bro.
it's a redoing of Fate Stay Night. Like it's the same
Oh,
story. I think they just like updated the graphics. I'm pretty
okay,
sure.
Oh,
okay.
I'm pretty
Yeah, because I
sure.
saw that. I saw the original, and then I saw a second one, and I'm like, I thought I saw this because the way it ended, like the guy was dead, and like now it's like, oh, they're starting all over again. I'm like,
Yeah, so it looks like Fate Stay Night came out in 2006.
that's
Yeah.
what I saw.
Fate, just a regular Fate, came out in Fate Zero, came out in 2011. Yeah, Fate Zero 2011,
Mhm.
and then they redid Fate Stay Night, the original one from 2006, in 2014. So
Okay.
actually,
Gotcha.
maybe I didn't watch the second part first. Maybe I can just watch Fate Zero now.
Mm.
Because why would they release it
Well,
like that?
because
Yeah,
I
Fate.
know that it was. I think isn't it Zero is this prequel, right? Technically, I
Is it
think
the prequel?
chronologically. I don't know. There's some timeline. There's a Fate
There's
timeline
their
somewhere.
timeline, but
Mm.
they're good. Once you figure out the timeline, they're good. They're good.
Okay. And before we close it off, John, have you watched? I think this show was criminally underrated from last year or the year before. Was Vivi, the robot anime?
I did.
You watched it?
Oh, he didn't like it.
I
You
did
like it?
not.
Oh, yeah.
No, no, no. I mean, it's. I liked it. It was good. It was good. I mean, it's not really my personal cup of tea, but it was good.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
because
it
I feel
was.
like no one was talking about that. I know Dan was watching it, and I was watching
Trip
it because
music.
I think I saw Dan was watching it, and I was like, dude, how's no one talking about this show?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was definitely a weird one for me though when it first started. I'm like, what's like trying to figure out what's going on, you know? And then
Yeah.
the second episode, like, yeah, it was definitely a weird one, but I mean, it was good. I liked the animation. The
Yeah, yeah.
music was good.
It was the people who do Attack on Titan, I think, right?
Yeah, it's by Wit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, Wit doesn't do Attack on Titan anymore. It used to.
What it used
Oh,
to
they
Now
be.
it's
used to.
Mappa. Yeah. Yeah, you guys recommended me that show. I liked it a lot. It was really good. That
Yeah.
whole like existential kind of crisis, like, am I a human
Yeah,
robot?
I haven't watched a lot of
Kind of
robot
like
anime, I
Violet
feel.
Violet Evergarden or whatever.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah. All right, good talk. We got a
good
lot
shit.
of Rex, and
Always a pleasure.
yeah, we got a lot of Rex.
Sure.
We got a lot of good animes. I got a lot of stuff that I need to
Yeah, and I need to
watch and
start
catch
watching.
up on.
I feel like we got to get a podcast going. We got
Yeah,
so much.
I might just rip
We
the
all watch.
audio from this VOD and just put it on Spotify or
I
something
say
or YouTube.
we all watch so much anime.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So I've been like since last week there was a guy in here Shinra who was saying that we should do like more stuff, and I've been like thinking in my head of things we can do. One of the things we can do is all watch a show and then review it together
I
in
would be
like the
down for
next
that.
few weeks. So I have a recommendation for that. It's called Tatami Galaxy. Um, it's a pretty well-known show. It's like from the early 2010s.
Oh yeah, is this on Crunchy?
It should be.
Or do I have to sail the high seas?
This is known for its art style. Nah, you won't have to sail the high seas. It's on Crunchyroll, I'm pretty sure.
It scored pretty high.
Yeah,
It is. Yeah, it's got an 8.57.
so the
I'm gonna
art
look into
style like
some.
really stood out to me, so I was thinking maybe we should all watch it. And it's only 12 episodes.
That'd be
All
cool.
right.
Um, so maybe in like 2 weeks we can review this.
I'd be
So we're
down.
going episode by episode. We just
No, we just
go.
watch all of it
Okay.
and just
All right.
review it. And then next week we can do something else, like a tier list or something, like our favorite protagonists or our favorite couples or our favorite senseis, our favorite, something. I'll think of something.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Worst fathers in anime.
worst
That's
fathers,
all of them.
worst
Bro, you're gonna have a
pets.
hard time finding good ones.
But yeah, that's it, guys.
Sweet.
Thanks for
Alrighty.
coming and joining.
Get back to RuneScape.
Ah, okay, come on,
Oh
man.
my God, what are you grinding right now,
We're
by the
fucking
way?
Dude, it's rough, bro.